Hey guys, what's up? It's Patrick here, and today bringing you guys episode 5 of my Undefeated Clash of Clans series. So taking a look at where we're at 2,737 trophies. Haven't attacked too much since I've been in Finland, so pretty much all the attacks from the last episode, and let's go ahead and attack today and see if we can get up to Master 2. So that means probably 3 or 4 raids, depending on what we get, and I'm going to try to shoot for people over 25 trophies, and let's start with this guy and see if we can have some success. So for today's raids, I'm probably just going to be using Golemites and Golemites, maybe throw in a few Valkyries here and there. But if you haven't noticed already, we've sort of strayed away from the Town Hall 7s, the Town Hall 8s, even the Town Hall 9s, and we're basically just finding Town Hall 10s right now. Most of them have completely maxed out defense, not walls, but most of them have like level 11 defenses, I guess, at least. Probably not maxed out archer towers, I guess, but most of them are pretty well upgraded. None of them really have level 40 heroes, and I should have plenty of room for error, and I really shouldn't lose too many raids as long as things don't go terribly wrong. So using Golemites, your number one priority is to make sure your P.E.K.K.A. run towards the town hall, and generally that means going towards the center of the base. And starting off, I did a pretty good job, but I didn't open up the center of my base with my wall breakers quickly enough, so you can see my P.E.K.K.A. are running towards the left-hand side, and they're not going to be going for the town hall. So even though that would generally be a disaster against a base like this, where my king and my queen and my wizards are already in the center, that means it's probably going to be pretty good because they can run around and try to get me to 100%, and let's see how it turns out for now. So the Inferno Tower is doing a pretty good job. My queen finally shot that one down. Looking at what I have left, my king is about to die. My queen is at full health, so I can activate her hero ability. But looking at our chances of getting 3 stars, they probably aren't pretty good right now because this guy still does have 2 Teslas, and my P.E.K.K.A. are pretty low. So I'm thinking we're probably going to have to surrender in a bit, but let's just see what we can do. So activating the iron, or not the Iron Fist, but the Royal Cloak ability, going to destroy maybe 3 or 4 defenses before she shoots at that storage. And looking at our P.E.K.K.A., they're probably going to make their way through the bottom left-hand side of this base. And yeah, they're pretty low. Teslas do 2 times damage against the P.E.K.K.A.s, so I'm going to have to surrender here. And I'll go ahead and take my 21 trophies from this raid and move on to the next one. So pretty solid. Like I said, if this guy had 20 trophies, I would have only gotten maybe 13, but since he had 32, I was able to steal 21. So really awesome raid. Let's keep up the trophies, and let's see if we can duplicate the same success on base number 2. So this guy actually has the same exact amount of trophies, so that actually is pretty good for us. And let's transition to Golemites and see what we can do with this guy's base. So with Golemites, I usually use 3 golems instead of 2, whereas I usually use 2 with Golemites. It really just depends on the base layout. If I'm doing a war attack, I definitely have some time to look over it and see exactly if I would need 2 golems or 3 golems, depending on how much land I'm going to be taking up with my attack. And I'm probably going to do an ultimate Golemites and Golemites guide pretty soon where I'll talk about that. But for now, let's go ahead and attack with Golemites and see if we can take this guy out. So unlike Golemites, I'm going to expand my army just a little bit. I'm going to drop a fail raid spell that didn't work out too well because I thought most of my troops were going to run back to the center. And looking where we're at right now, I'd say we're doing okay. And let's see if our witches can stay alive and make sure the skeletons are getting to the town hall. So I have at least 2 or 3 witches left. Those ones are doing pretty well. The wizards are still alive. I didn't drop my freeze on that Inferno Tower. Looks like this last Inferno Tower here is going to take care of the barbarians because I activated my Barbarian King's Iron Fist. And I'd say this raid actually went pretty well overall. I could have been a little bit more concise with the wall breakers. I'd probably have to watch the replay again, but as far as my troops staying alive, most of them stayed alive throughout the course of the raid. And let's see how far my king and queen can get inside of the base. I really don't know if they're going to be able to get 3 stars. The only thing that gives me a little bit of optimism is that I have a witch on the left-hand side. So even if I run out of that golem right there, the witch should be able to spawn enough skeletons to keep any of my troops I have behind it alive, but I really don't see anything there right now. So I'm just going to let it ride out, and you guys do tell me a lot in my videos to let my raids go out longer. So let's see how it goes and see if we can get to 100%. So my queen's still alive, and looking at his defenses, he has 6 defenses left. He has 2 Teslas, 2 cannons, I think an archer tower, and a mortar. And as long as my queen can stay behind my witch's skeletons, I think we might actually be okay. There's 2 golems right there, and unfortunately they're stuck onto that wall. But let's see how close my queen gets before I have to activate her ability. So the cannon did pick up my queen, so I'm going to activate her ability now, which means we're gonna have, I think, 5 or 6 archers, or maybe 10. I forget exactly how much I get for the Royal Cloak. And those guys are going to back up my witch, and I think we're fine as far as time goes. We're at 54 seconds, we're at 82% of the base, so it's really just going to come down to if my witch is going to stay safe, if we're going to be able to win this raid. All right, so a bomb's going to spawn. That's going to destroy a couple of the skeletons. Archer tower and cannon are going to start doing work. The mortar's going to start doing work. And we're sort of at the crunch time right now. And it looks like the golems are actually going to come around back and sort of be a savior for this raid. So I didn't expect that. Those golems that were attacking the left-hand side earlier are actually going to come all the way around the base somehow, some way, because they were attacking some wall earlier and end up distracting the mortar and winning this raid for me. So that was really surprising, and I guess that's a good lesson why you should always let your raid go, because usually I'll surrender at 50% and 2 stars if I don't think I'm able to get that 3rd star on the base. But somehow, some way, the mortars made their way all the way around the base, and definitely going to honor those guys, and I picked up the full 32 trophies with this raid. So that was a really, really long raid. Let's move to raid number 3, and you guys can see the trend going on right now. We have 32 trophies available on all 3 bases. I actually added in some Valkyries for this one instead of taking 3 golems and 3 witches. So you can see I'm rocking 2 golems, 2 witches, a P.E.K.K.A., 12 wizards, 5 Valkyries. Those are going to be my main damage dealers. 1 barbarian just because I had the space, and then 21 wall breakers to make my way through the base. So with Go Wee Wee and Go Wipe, and I guess this one has a little bit of Valkyries inside of it, I'm not exactly sure as far as jump spells, because like I really, really like using jump spells, but there's certain times where I could really use that extra rage spell or that extra free spell. But for this one right here, I'm going to use 21 wall breakers and avoid the jump spell. And a lot of people, again, I talk about why jump spells are better than just like 5 wall breakers, because you can place it wherever you want in the base, but the swap between that and an extra rage spell or free spell sometimes is too much. So in the case of this one, I actually just brought some wall breakers, and let's see how we can do against this guy. So wall breaker wise, we're fine. We got to the town hall, no problems. And I am going to have that second free spell to freeze that Inferno tower, which is going to help out a lot. And let's see if my wizards can turn around and stop shooting random buildings and maybe come back to the center of the base. Didn't really matter. My king and queen were strong enough since I did drop those free spells pretty well and took care of most of the buildings on the outside. So town hall's down. We're at 47%, almost at 50%. And this raid actually ended up being a little bit closer than what I thought. I think most of my wizards, they didn't follow the golems and they didn't follow my king and my queen, so they ended up getting shot down by that Expo, ended up getting blown up by bombs. So I surrendered after 54% to save my hero health. And let's go ahead and check my base to see what we've got. Bonus wise, this is 75,000 gold, 75,000 elixir. If you guys are playing on the new Halloween update, all of the bonuses have been increased, which is amazing. So make sure you guys check that out. And let's go ahead and head back to base and wrap it up for this video. So we're sitting at 2,811 trophies, which is good enough to put us in Master 2. Yeah, like I said, in the new Halloween update, you're going to be getting 120,000 gold and 120,000 elixir instead of 90,000 of each. So that's amazing. But I recorded this one before that update went up. So yeah, pretty good for now. Let's go ahead and keep pushing. Hopefully get to Master 1 pretty soon. And by the time we get to Champions League, bases are going to get a lot more difficult. And I'm going to try to troll just a little bit so things keep interesting and I don't have to use Go Wee Wee and Go Wipe in every episode. But I'm going to try my best not to lose and see how far we can go. That's going to wrap it up for episode 5 of my Undefeated Clash of Clans series. If you guys enjoy it, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Don't remember the last time I've said subscribe if you haven't already, but yeah, do that and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.